Hey, what's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review Bel-Air Season 2, Episode 4. So if you have not seen the 4th episode, turn this video off, go watch it, and come back and watch this video. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my thoughts and expressions and how I feel. I am not a public speaker, so I will tend to stutter, and I will be looking at my notes over here to make sure that I'm on point with what I'm talking about, this, that, and the third. Yeah, my mouth gets dry, so I got my water bottle right here that I will be drinking from. It's a nice early morning, so figured I'm gonna need some water, and I will be smoking. So yeah, I tend to go a little off the rails when I'm smoking and doing these reviews, but I like that because like it shows my authentic opinion and how I feel and stuff. So yeah. Last chance, if you have not seen the 4th episode of Season 2 of Bel-Air, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. I like to grade my videos. I like to grade the episode before and after my videos. So I'm going to grade this episode A- because we had a little fight scene. We had some little moments and stuff. We had an all snap moment at the end. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Okay, so we get to this first scene, which is basically the aftermath of the protest. Carlton and Will, they in this like classroom, waiting to hear what the consequences gonna be basically for Will basically. So Will's telling Carlton that he should tell Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv about the panic attack that he had at the protest. And then Carlton starts to blame Will, talking about this all your fault. I didn't want to do the speech, this, that, and the third. And I was like, no, that's not fair, Carlton, to blame Will and try to make it seem like that he didn't want to do what he did. Like, and when Will was telling him like, no, I did it because I really wanted to take a stand, like this, that, like really wanted to fight for what I believe in type stuff. Basically, yeah. So it's like no, don't try to blame him because you froze up. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like trust me, I know anxiety is real, but it's like, bro, don't try to blame Will for something that happened to you, because he could have just as easily told Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv too, and he didn't. So he's really looking out for you. So we know that from this protest, Will apparently gets suspended because he said something about it in this first scene. But then we get Aunt Viv and Uncle Viv. I said Aunt Phil and Uncle Viv. I said Aunt Viv. So we get Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. They come back in there. Will like, was y'all able to get the suspension lifted? They was like, nope. You suspended for a week, and they kicked you off the basketball team. Like, you indefinitely, you can't go back to basketball team. So immediately in my head, when they said that, I was like, oh, so we know that this scout doc dude about to be coming into play much more now that Will don't have nowhere to play at. So I was like, I know the scout dude gonna come into play. So Will was like, really? They gonna do this for me? I mean, they gonna do this to me? Da-da-da. Like, he upset, as he should be, because like it shouldn't have been that much of a big deal. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv basically tell him like actions have consequences, this, that, and third. So Will not feeling or whatever. They leave in the classroom about to exit the school, and as they exiting, the whole hallway's filled with students, probably mostly black student union students, but probably some regular students too. They all applauding Will, like, way to go, Will, we got your back, basically. And Will felt that love, he's cheesing, but Carlton didn't. Carlton was in the background mugging, looking irritated, and it's like, dude, this could have been you, but you froze up. You can't get mad at Will, like, Will gonna stand he gonna stand on what he believe in. So then we get this scene, Will, he in the house moping around. Aunt Viv is there. She basically trying to like find venues for her art show. And I'm wondering, when is Michael Ealy's character gonna come into play? I mean, I know that they had disagreements because he went on I think he went on an article or interview or something and changed every word that she said in her interview, and she wasn't feeling that. And she went to his office, assistant said he wasn't there, and she's like, well, tell him I don't even want him to be a part of my stuff no more. So I'm figuring now that she's probably doing this whole art show by herself now, I'm assuming. So she's trying to find venues for that. So she telling which, like, basically Will's down. He's like, basketball was supposed to set me up for my career, this, that, and the third. And she telling him, like, basically, it's still gonna be other opportunities out there. Don't feel too down. Da da da. What about AAU? She brings up AAU. And Will was like, yeah, I still want to go, but Uncle Phil, every time I bring it up to him, he shut it down. As he should, because the Doc Scout dude seemed shady to me. Like, they set his character up to be shady, so we could tell that he's, I could tell he's shady. So Uncle Phil has a right to be cautious and stuff like that. So I get it. He was like, Uncle Phil, every time I bring it up to him, he ain't down or whatever. So then we get this scene with the shady faculty advisor. I don't like this woman because I feel like she would just sit in those BSU meetings and just like observe and then go back and run and tell the white dean. It's like you black and you supposed to be on these kids' side, and instead you was like, I don't know. I don't like her for that. So that's why I call her the shady faculty advisor. So she come up to Carlton, basically telling him that he got my back itch. She basically telling him that he got the nomination for the Founders Award. So Carlton, he cheesing. She telling him, yeah, I told you if you didn't participate in that protest, that good things were going to come towards your way. So Carlton, he cheesing, and it ain't even like Carlton did it on purpose. Like, it ain't like Carlton did it on purpose, but it's like, it feel like 1% of him probably did not do it because he knew that all the things he was looking forward to in the future would probably come crashing down in a sense. So he's cheesing after she tells him this. And the girl who he has a crush on, who's the president of the Black Student Union, she's in the corner. She watching from a distance. She's seeing all this play out. So that started getting her thoughts rolling. Like, what's she telling him and what he's smiling about? Oh my God, my back itch. I'm trying to get the spot where it itch, but. So then we get this scene with Jazz and Hillary. So Hillary, she's still trying to make this Simply Spike deal for the influencer house. She's talking about, yeah, so we won't have Ivy's H2O water or something like that. Jazz was like, y'all, like, you're not going to tell Ivy? Like, this sounds like a toxic relationship. And it's like, in a sense, she kind of did tell Ivy. So Ivy on the last episode, Ivy wasn't down. Ivy said, nah. So it's like now she's pursuing this on her own. And what I'm kind of concerned with is, so Ivy bought Hillary out of her contract, and I think like bought the influencer house. I don't know how. I don't really know, but she's like in charge of the influencer house now. Like she's the money. Like Ivy's the money. So I'm wondering, like, even if Hillary gets this Simply Spike deal, can she even make it the house, the influencer house's drink? Because Ivy is the money, is the backbone. So it's like they can't push her drink out because, like, I don't know, but it's definitely going. I feel like it's definitely going to cause Hillary and Ivy to butt heads. So then Hillary was like, oh, babe, I can't do lunch today. Let's do dinner. Jazz was like, I can't. My parents coming over. Hillary was like, cool. I can just meet your parents. So nonchalantly, I can just meet your parents. No problem. Jazz was like, I don't think that's right timing. She telling him, like, what's wrong? Like, you know my parents. I can't meet your parents. Like, what's the problem? And she started saying other stuff. I can't remember exactly what she said. But basically, eventually, Jazz says yes. He's like, okay, cool, yeah. You can meet my parents. Like, let's do it. Also, the scene earlier when Viv was talking to Will, when Aunt Viv was talking to Will, Phil came in, basically told Will he ain't gonna be sitting around the house. He need to like do some chores and stuff. Viv was like, at least give him a day to reflect. And he was like, nah, none of that. I gave the maid the week off or something like that. You gonna do these chores. So we get to Will, he doing these chores, he cleaning out the refrigerator, things like that. And who he get a call from? The Shady Scout. Now, I knew the Scout was going to come into play as soon as they told him he was kicked off the basketball team in Bel-Air. I knew the Scout was going to come into play. I didn't think it was going to be this quick. Like, literally, like, a couple of scenes later, he right there. And he already on it. He called up Will. I heard you got, what we eventually, like, literally right after that scene, we find out how he found this out. But he was like, I heard you, got suspended and kicked off the team. So Will was like, dang, you heard all that? And he was like, I got my boots to the ground, whatever. So he was like, well, that means you got an open opportunity to come play for me. You still trying to play for me, basically. And Will was like, yeah, definitely, most definitely, whatever. And so here goes Scout, yeah, all right, well, since you ain't got no time on your hands, I mean, you ain't doing nothing this week, get your uncle, and come down here to the facility, and let's talk about everything. So Will like, oh man, he want me to bring Uncle Phil, and Uncle Phil ain't with it. So he's like, but he don't tell Scout that. Scout like that's gonna be a problem. He's like, nah, we gonna be there, basically. So he got to find a way to butter Uncle Phil up, basically. So Scout and Will get off the phone, and on Scout's end, he get off the phone, and Aunt Viv's sitting right across from him. So she must have told him about the suspension and get kicked off the team, and she's obviously there to influence this phone call that Scout made to Will, and so on and so forth. Then we get this quick little scene, and I'm not the only person that I've heard this say. That I've heard say this because I've said it too. I like this new modern Bel-Air, and I like this new modern day Jeffrey. Like Jeffrey ain't like just a regular like he was in the sitcom. They got literally like a 007 type Jeffrey. Like this dude like James Bond out here. Like he be handling stuff. Like the dude that was looking for Will in season 1 handled. They was looking for Will father, found him. Like this dude. Every time he go to Jeffrey, they be talking this off. He be like, check into it for me. And Jeffrey would be like, will do. And this is like this nigga be just knowing everything. So it's just like we got this 007 type Jeffrey in this modern day Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm with it. I'm with all of it. Like I'm with all the changes. Like in the sitcom, Lisa and Will got married, which they can still do in this modern junk, but in this modern junk, they're not even together right now. And then in the sitcom, Hillary and Jazz, I think they only had like a little quick fling or something like that. But now in this modern junk, they together. They together in a whole relationship, meeting each other's parents and everything. So I'm with it. I'm with the modern day stuff. Anyway, so we get to this quick scene. Uncle Phil catch Jeffrey before he leaving the house, and he's like, "What's up, Jeffrey? Where you headed to?" And Jeffrey was like, "Out." Very vague. He's very vague. His character is very. He don't say too much, but he handle business. He's like out. Phil like, "Oh, okay. Where you at?" No, he said out. He's like, "Oh, okay." Jeffrey's like, "You need anything?" Phil was like, "Nah, I'm just checking to see what's going on with you." He's like, "Okay." He was like, "Have a good day." He's like, "Will do, babe." Basically. And I'm just like, this nigga just be on moves. Like, I feel like it's gonna be a story with Jeffrey later on down in the season, or maybe next season if they get a next season, whatever. But we gonna get some more into Jeffrey. We know he got a son on this modern day John. I can't remember, but I feel like on the sitcom, I think his son was like lying about actually being his son. I can't remember. I haven't seen that episode in so long. But I could have swore his son was lying about being his son or something like that, or some situation with his son. I can't remember. Or his son was stealing from him. I can't remember. But we know he got a son on this modern Joan because he mentioned them a couple of times. So we probably going to see that. So then we get to seeing the president girl of the BSU, who's Carlton's crush. She confronts him. She like, it all makes sense now. Like why you didn't say your speech at the protest, because you basically was trying to make sure that you didn't get in trouble so you can get the Founders Award. Like, we see you got the Founders Award now due to you not saying your speech at the protest. And Carlton, first of all, this nigga smiling while he's saying it. It's like, no, don't smile, because she obviously think that you a F nigga for real. So it's like, don't smile while you saying it. So he's like, no, that's not what it is. It's like, no. So she already don't believe you. So she don't even want to hear what he said. She just like, I should have known what it was from the jump, basically. She said something like that. And she walk off. So now Carlton like, But it's like, bruh, why'd you smile while you was singing? You should have been like, no, that's not what it was. And she probably would have stood and listened a little longer. Probably still would have walked off because it's a show. And we need that type of stuff. But at the same time, he could have not smiled. It would have, I don't know. So then we get the little mother-daughter scene with Hillary and Aunt Viv. Basically, Hillary's talking about working in the influencer house, super busy, da-da-da-da. Aunt Viv's talking about getting this whole art show together, how it's just becoming a struggle, basically. And Hillary's like, I'm there for you, Mom, if you need me, da-da-da. And Aunt Viv was like, when do you take time out for you? What do you do? What are you doing for fun? Like, how's it going with you and Jazz? Great little leeway, Aunt Viv. So how's it going with you and Jazz? Hillary's like, it's going good. I'm supposed to be meeting his parents. So Aunt Viv's like, oh, she make a face. She's like, what do you really think about Jazz? Because you said that you think it's cool, da da da. And Aunt Viv's like, he's nice, but he's not usually the guy that you would go for. And she was like, yeah, I know I usually go full. And they was like the ballers, flashy Bel-Air boys. They call them Bel-Air boys. And Hillary was like, well, I think that's why I like Jazz, because he's so different. Things like basically like that's probably why she like him. He's not what she would usually go for, and that's probably why she like him so much. So, and on Viv, she just like, if you like it, I love it, cool. And like, and his parents, I'm sure they're gonna love you, basically. So it's like we get that moment, and I like when Hillary and Aunt Viv have their little talks or whatever, because it's always Aunt Viv is always like, if you like it, I love it. She letting Hillary do her. But if it was a sitcom situation, Hillary wouldn't have so much say so over her life, because she was basically bankrolling. She was basically bankrolled from her parents, so they would be more controlling of her decisions and stuff, because they know that they bankrolling it basically. But this modern day Joan, like I said, we get a lot of different character changes. So Will, he done with the chores. He go to Uncle Phil's office to take him his car keys. He was like, I cleaned your car, da da da. I even put a little extra elbow grease in the rims for you. Trying to suck up to him, because, he trying to get Uncle Phil to come with him to see Doc. So he come in there, he throw him the keys, he tell him everything, I'm done. Uncle Phil like, okay. Will just like, yeah, so. Uncle Phil like, is there something else I can do for you? He was like, yeah, now that you mention it. I like that he's like, he very much has the characteristics of how Will was in a sitcom. I like the little goofy moments and stuff like that he does. She's like, now that you mention it, you remember Doc? You remember Scout? And then he was like, can we go check him out, basically? I don't think they showed him asking him. He just was like, you remember Scout? And then I think it just flashed to them at the facility with Scout. His name is Doc. I might go back and forth and say Scout sometimes or say Doc sometimes, but Scout and Doc are the same person. Or Hightower, but I don't think I would say Hightower. This ain't goddamn, what is it, the Steve Harvey show? But yeah. So we at the facility with Scout and Uncle Phil and Will. So Scout, he telling them basically about the program, things like that. I can't remember everything that he said. So Uncle Phil asked something about like numbers wise, and Scout was basically like, "Oh, you trying to get right into it, like talk logistics?" And Uncle Phil was like, "Yes, sir." So and Will was like, "Yes, sir." They was like, "Nah, Will, you go upstairs, get your fade tightened up." He was like, "I don't think you get tighter than this." I was just like, see, I like his little wit and stuff, just like the sitcom Will. So Will steps off. So then it flashes to a scene with Lisa and Carlton. So Carlton basically telling Lisa, like, because at this moment, like, Lisa's kind of praising Will. She like, they ready to go ham for Will. Like, we ready to ride for Will for what he did. Carlton like, yeah, everybody loves Will. And then he was like, well, I just want to let you know, like, everybody thinks that I froze up at the protest, but I actually had a panic attack. And I know you might not believe me. And then Lisa was like, well, I believe you. Like, because Lisa's been around. They was together. They was in a whole relationship. And she knew about his anxiety and stuff. She knows about his anxiety. So, of course, she was like, yeah, I know. So, you ain't got to tell me and think that I don't believe you. So, what happened after that? So then the guy that has a crush on Lisa approaches them. Approaches Lisa. And he's like, yeah, we having this little thing for the BSU later. You want to swing by? And he's also, Lisa's crush is beside Carlton's crush, the girl, the president of the BSU. I do not remember all their names. I just remembering, like, the key characters. But, so, and Lisa's like, cool, yeah, I'll come, whatever. And then Carlton and his crush, they staring each other hard down. So then they walk off, Lisa and Carlton, and Lisa was like, "Damn, like if looks could kill, basically." and Carlton was like, "I don't care, I wasn't really feeling her anyway." Knowing he lying, he was feeling her. That was the whole reason he joined the went to the BSU meeting, even though it was Will's idea. But he went initially. That was his whole thing. And Lisa was just like, maybe like if you let her know what's going on with you, like maybe she would see it from a different angle. Basically telling them that. Which is a good idea. Like, just tell her what's going on. Because as we see later on in the episode, when she finds out, she feels kind of She feels kind of guilty, but we'll get to that. So Will upstairs in the facility getting his hair cut, and who pop up on him? Doc's niece. And I ain't trust her anyway. I ain't trust her from when they met on the basketball court, because I felt like when they met on the court and she was telling him how to impress Doc or whatever, that's was when you could have told him. I mean, I guess they had just met. But I feel like at some point she should have told him that was her uncle. He shouldn't have had to found out how he did. What was it, last episode, the episode before last, or something like that? When they snuck out, when him and Carlton snuck out to that party to meet up with her or whatever. I feel like he shouldn't have found out at that moment. She should have told him. So I feel like she kind of sneaky. Anyway, so she pop up on Will while he getting a haircut, and she like, they doing a little flirting or whatever. She like, I heard you from Philly. He was like, oh, you checking up on me? I mean, you been asking about me, basically. She was like, no. She was like, maybe you could. I mean, they talk about something, and he was like, when I'm gonna get a glimpse into your world, but like flirting, basically. And she was like, I don't know. I'll let you know when. Well, I don't remember what she said, like, basically. I don't remember what she said. So then we get this scene, and mind you, I do not know the math and statistics of stuff, whatever. So I wrote Phil and Scout talk shop. So they talking shop, basically. Numbers, percentages, the contracts, all that. So then at the end of this conversation, Phil's not trusting Scout. He's still not trusting Scout even after this meeting of them talking everything. And at the end of this meeting, Doc tells Phil that Viv had some involvement with this meetup between them two. So that's when Phil stormed out. He's like, I'm gone. Will like, what's going on, Uncle Phil? Like, I really want this. Will, he's still with it, whatever. So then we get a Will and Ashley scene. I like the Will and Ashley scenes. They ain't get as lit like in this. They're not as lit how they was in the sitcom. Hopefully they'll get there, but we still getting little Will and Ashley scenes. So Ashley's trashing all her activist banners and posters and stuff like that, throwing it away. Will, he's like, what's wrong? Basically, she's like, she basically still feeling guilty about Big Ashley getting fired, and she feels, she's like, Ashley got fired because of me, Big Ashley. I don't know Big Ashley's name on the show, but she's the teacher. Her teacher is played by Ashley from the sitcom, who's Tatiana Ali. But so Big Ashley, she's like, she feels responsible for Big Ashley getting fired. She's like, I feel like I got her fired, and I feel like and then you get suspended for just trying to make a change. Like, I feel like it's no hope, basically. So Will, he trying to comfort her, basically telling her everything gonna be okay and it's not her fault. And she ain't hearing it. She kind of storms off. So Ashley's still kind of upset. They ain't really giving Ashley too many roles neither. Like, I mean, she getting these little scenes, but it's like, give her, I don't know. We might get a whole Ashley scene later on down the line, but give her more. I like Ashley. I like little Ashley's character on this Bel-Air. So get this big blow up argument on Viv and Uncle Phil. Yeah, on Viv and Uncle Phil, they arguing because, as we saw, Viv went to Doc behind Phil's back, and Phil had to find out from Doc. So they arguing. She like, what is your problem with Doc, basically? And basically, Viv feels like Phil is seeing Lou in Doc, and Lou is Will's father, who we saw earlier last season, played by Marlon Wayans. So yeah, Doc, and who like kind of walked out, who ain't like really been in his life, things like that. So, or always on scamming stuff. So Viv feels like Phil sees this in Lou, and just Phil just like, I don't want Will to get taken advantage of, and in his own right, like as he should. But Viv is just like, we can't control everybody that Will's gonna be around. Like that's what got him mad at us with the situation with Lou in the first place. Like, we can't control that. We gotta let him be his own man and make his own mistakes, things like that. So they arguing about that. So Carlton and Will, they talking. I can't remember what they was actually talking about. Oh yeah, so so Carlton thanks Will for not ratting him out to Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil about the panic attack, because he was like, they probably would have upped my dosage of my meds, or they probably would have did worse. They probably would have been more hovering, things like that. So Will was just like, why they think they can control us? Because, Will mad because Uncle Phil stormed out the facility. So, like, why do they think they can control us? Carlton just like, man, I don't know. They teenagers, so. So then Will was like, man, you should come to this BSU thing with me. Your girl might be there, this and third. Carlton like, nah, I ain't feeling it. I'm about to watch some documentary. Something he said. Some corny stuff. So Will was like, dang, that's too bad because we about to be bowling. So apparently they making it known on this season. I don't remember, was Carlton the big bowler on the sitcom? I don't know. But so they make it a big deal. I guess this season that Carlton's this big bowler. So he turned around, he's like, bowling, you say? So then they flash to them at the bowling alley. Carlton got his bowling ball. He got his own shoes. He's talking about buying shoes in the bowling alley is for amateurs. So it's like, like puss. Like, what's that word? PFT, whatever. PFFT, whatever. So he was like, so we get that little part. That was funny to me. So then we get this little makeup scene. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, they make up. Uncle Phil comes, he apologizes. He just saying he got a lot on his plate between the stuff that's going on with his partner of the firm. And he feeling like Jeffrey is being sneaky and secretive. And Aunt Viv was like, well, did you talk to him about it? And Phil was like, I mean, I've tried in a way. And they basically make up. So, cute scene. He lay down on her lap. And just off the, like, not even like, let's say this wasn't even a TV show. They are a nice looking couple. Like, if they was a couple in real life, they are a nice looking couple. Like, they a nice looking couple. If they was married in real life, I'd be like, yes, that's a nice looking couple. But so yeah, the whoever cast this show, they kudos. Even though it was kind of weird how on the sitcom, I mean, I don't care about this, but I just found it funny, ironic, whatever. On the sitcom, Hillary was light skinned, and on this show, Hillary's dark skinned. And on the sitcom, Ashley was darker skinned, and on this show, Ashley's light skinned. But anyway, at least they gave us dark skin, Aunt Viv, okay. Anyway, but they is a good looking couple. If they was together in real life, I would be like, yes, that's a good looking couple. But yeah, they make up. So then we get this scene. And Jazz is introducing his parents to Hillary. He was like, you're going to love her. And I didn't recognize who the dad was, but the mom, she plays on the Oval. And she just, I don't want to spoil it for people that watch the Oval, so I'm not even going to say nothing. But yeah, she plays Barry's mom on the Oval, Richard's wife. So I was like, okay, we get this Tyler Perry actor. She's Jazz's mother. I didn't know who the father was. He might have played some other stuff, but I didn't recognize him from anything. So they, Hillary walks in, full Muslim down. Oh, so Jazz's parents are Muslim. I don't know if they mentioned it in the show, but I can't remember if they did. But his parents are Muslim. They got the Muslim attire on. Hillary walks in. They do the full pan slow-mo. She got Muslim down. She got the hijab on, everything. So, and she introduces herself. She greets them in Muslim language and everything. So it's just like, and Jazz was like, he was like, oh, snap. So the mother was like, she whispers to Jazz, she's like, she's perfect. And then the father give her a pound, was like, good job, son. I mean, father give Jazz a pound, good job, son, basically. So the parents approve so far. So then we get this scene, Carlton and Will, they at the bowling alley. Carlton, he good. He trying to tell Will how to bowl, this, that, and the third. He was like, you hold your hands like this, and Will was like this, and smacked him upside his head. So I was like, that was a funny moment, because that's something that's so sitcomish. That's something that's totally from the sitcom. So I was like, that's super funny. So Carlton basically dogging Will and bowling. They even had to pull out the kids bowler thing for Will. I was like, that's funny. They had this little rolling scene with that. That was funny. So then Lisa show up with her crush. Lisa watching, she cheering them on. Will come over there, start chatting her up. Like, you see that nice score or whatever? You know how Will just be, he funny, be saying stuff. So Lisa was like, yeah, I see it. And as you see, the crush was about to walk over there. So I watched this twice because I ended up watching it the second time. And The crush, as Will walks up to Lisa talking to Lisa, the crush was about to walk over there because if you look at him, he holding 2 drinks in his hand. So I thought that was super funny that they did that. He holding the 2 drinks. I was like, that's hilarious. So then he walk over there. He like, hey Lisa, I got you something to drink. So he was like, what's up, Will? Called him King and everything. What's up, King? Will was like, what's up? And I think Drew had to say his name. His name was Drew. So he was like, what's up? He was like, Drew. And so they started to talk about something. I can't remember what they talked about. But then Will gets a text message from the girl, Doc's niece. He was like, oh, okay, I'm about to dip. He was like, see you later, Lisa. He was like, see you later, Doug. And Drew was like, it's Drew. Will ain't paying no attention to it. I was like, that's funny. So then we get this part. Jeffrey, they in the office. Jeffrey and Uncle Phil, they in Uncle Phil's office. And Uncle Phil's trying to get Jeffrey to open up. But you know, it's hard. Like, he's trying to find a leeway into opening Jeffrey up. Offers him a drink, want a drink? So they drinking. Jeffrey started telling Uncle Phil, like, yeah, your partner, he been having these after-hour meetings that, like, we don't know about whatever. Uncle Phil's like, I ain't been hearing about that. And Jeffrey was like, exactly. Like, these are meetings that you don't know about. So then we get this part. Carlton, he walks up. They at the bowling alley still, back at the bowling alley. And Carlton's crush is there. She with a couple of her friends sitting at the table. Carlton walks up. He like, can we talk for a minute? And she like, I'm not right now. I'm just trying to vibe. I ain't really trying to get into it right now. And he like, yeah, oh yeah, I get that. I'm trying to vibe too. This and the third. So, and then he just kind of like defeated. So then this scene was just like the audacity. So Lisa's crush dude, he come up to Carlton talking some just basically telling him like know when to let it go because she turned it down, whatever. So first Carlton was like, yeah, but then he was like, you thought we wouldn't find out. I mean, now you want to talk or whatever, but you wasn't saying nothing at the protest. But now we know why. Just basically start coming at him talking about, yeah, we know you didn't speak at the protest because you now you got a whole founders award, and then was like, and then said probably had to suck the little shady the faculty advisor probably had to suck her dick to do it, to get it or whatever. So that triggered Carlton. He glassed the dude. What's the name? Drew. He glassed Drew. Drew falls to the ground. Do he fall to the ground? Well, I think they start tussling, and then eventually, Drew falls to the ground, Carlton on top of him, dogging him, like crushing him. So Lisa screaming like, somebody break it up. So the dudes, they finally break it up. So Carlton was like, y'all want to know why I froze up? And I was like, really? They about to give us this? Like, he about to do this? But I mean, we need this. So he's like, y'all want to know why I froze up? Cause I had a panic attack and I'm suffering through anxiety and I'm on hella meds and my mood goes up and down. I'm trying not to crack every day through this Bel-Air bubble, whatever he called it. And everybody was looking, and the girl that he had the crush on, she was looking like, oh man. So everybody started feeling bad or whatever. Drew on the ground, nose bleeding, like this, like don't got nothing to say. So he storms out. He's like, F. He screams F, the F-U-C-K. So Lisa was like, and this is why there's never a safe space for black people, because this is what happens when we tell our truths, basically, things like that. So everybody feeling bad and whatever. Drew just still on the ground, like, nose bleeding. So I was just like, that scene was crazy. Like, I was like, go ahead, Carlton, but you ain't have to give him all that. You ain't have to give him all that. So then Carlton storms out, and Lisa storms out after him after she says the whole thing about this is why black people can't have safe spaces. So she basically says what I just said. She was like basically, you ain't have to even do that. You ain't even have to get them that, because people probably ain't gonna accept it, things like that. So, and Carlton was like, Lisa to the rescue again, and Lisa was like, but you beat his ass though. So they started laughing about that. She was like, yeah, you crushed him. So he was like, "You want to ride home?" And they look into each other's eyes. It's that long pause. So I'm like, "Oh snap! Is Lisa and Carlton gonna get back together?" And I wouldn't put it past them. Shoot, they was together. I mean, they was together earlier in the season, even though they didn't show it really. Because when the season started, I think they was already like broken up or going through issues or whatever. But they was supposedly together on this season. Never together on the sitcom, I don't think. So you never know. They changing it up on this Modern Bel-Air, so you never know. So Will and Doc's niece meet up. So Doc's niece is apparently she's a great ballet dancer. I don't know if she just learned that routine for the show or if she actually is a trained dancer or whatever, but nice performance set, whatever she was doing, practicing. Will just lurking in the corner watching her do her thing. So then she finally done. He's like, wow, like, I didn't know you had it like that, basically. You know, they started flirting, whatever. Then they start having this little dance battle, fake little dance battle. Then they start like slow dancing or something like that. And then he was like, thank you for letting me come into your world. And she was like, anytime. And then they start kissing. So I was like, okay, you about to start talking to this girl. So then we get we back at dinner with Hillary and Jazz's parents. So Hillary basically just spitting out hella Muslim facts to the parents. And the parents look hella uncomfortable, keep having to answer these questions or whatever. And Jazz looking to the side like really? Looking at Hillary like, okay. Then eventually Jazz is like, okay, let's talk about something else. Mom, this chicken is good. The parents was like, I agree. Yes, thank you. I did that with the chicken. So then Phil's partner, he's at the Bel-Air mansion. They in Phil's office. Him, Jeffrey, and Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was like, thanks for coming. He was like, I don't think I really had a choice. And then looked over to Jeffrey, 007 Jeffrey. So we know Jeffrey had to snatch that nigga up to get him there. So he basically bring up the after hour meetings or whatever. So the partner basically tell him like, yeah, I have been meeting with some people. I ain't want to bring it up yet until I knew what was really going to be put into the works. He was like, now that things are actually moving along, I was going to bring it up to you. Basically gaslighting, in my opinion. So Uncle Phil was like, a merger, like we merging. And he was like basically we have no choice. Like we need the capital, we need the money, whatever, because like you were supposed to be the face, and then you ended up leaving and running for DA or whatever you did, and like that made all our contacts and all our employees and things like that, staff leave and things like that. So you leaving we took a real big fall when you left, basically. So like Phil was like, nah, the partners ain't gonna go for that, and he was like, they already did. Like you just getting back, you don't know. So Phil was like, the partner was like, unless you could come up with like a miracle, like this is happening. So, and then it's just like this stressful moment, like everybody looking stressed in the room. Jeffrey, the partner, Phil. So it's just like, okay, what's going to happen? So, and Phil's totally against this. Like he said, the partners will never go for this, but the partner, and he's like, the partners already know, like it's up to you. It's up to you now if you can pull something out of your ass, basically. So, Will and Carlton talking about the fight. Will was like, dang, you gonna wait till I leave to go King Kong? He was like, they say you beat Bull up. Because, you know, he from Philly, so they say Bull. He was like, they say you beat Bull up. The BSU chat going off. So, Carlton was like, dang. And he was like, but you gotta talk started about black mental health and things like that. So Carlton was like, really? So Will was like, yeah, showing him his phone. It's blowing up about mental health. They talking about putting mental health classes in the BSU organization, whatever. They talking about like all types of depression, anxiety, things like that. So Carlton feels kind of happy about that. At least that started the conversation, and he don't feel so alone. Now there's more people out there who feeling the same way he feeling, was probably hiding it too. So it's like Carlton feeling happy about this, and that's a good thing. That's good. So it was a good thing that he did. He said he did outburst. Because at first I was like, did we need this? Like, just like Lisa said, you didn't have to get him that, but it started the conversation, and now this stuff is about to be in school and stuff, so that's good. So, where are we? So yeah, morning scene, kitchen morning scene. Will cooking breakfast. Carlton like, dang, you cooking breakfast? You really trying to show me up right now? So Will was like, don't even worry about that. So they talk about the BSU stuff, like started a mental health conversation. So then Uncle Phil and Aunt Vil come downstairs and they like, oh Lord, what's going on? So Will's like, I cooked you breakfast, basically. So they sitting down and Will basically buttering them up. He's like, please, like please let me play at AAU. I promise I will work hard. He was like, I even get a job to cover the cost, so you won't have to pay for that much, this, that, and the third. Like basically just asking them for one more chance. Can I do it? So Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, they give in. They're like, okay. And they was like, let's pray over this breakfast because Will made it. And he was like, thank you for this food. They was like, Lord, please bless this food. And it was funny. So then we get this little scene, Jazz and Hillary, they in bed, and Hillary's like basically like, how you think it went? And Jazz was like, I mean, first Hillary was like, you don't think we too different from each other? And Jazz was like, nah, I think we perfect for each other. Basically, like we ride or die, things like that. And Hillary was like, how you think your parents received me and things like that? And Jazz was like, I just feel like they liked you, but they would have loved if you would have just been yourself, basically. And he was like, cause like you are basically like you amazing and whatever. So another little Will and Ashley scene. Will goes up to Ashley again, and he's like, Ashley, you not allowed to give up because you are literally the hope of this family. Like you the one that we always look to always want better things in life, and activism is in your heart. So you might feel down now, just take your little lap and get back up and get back into fighting. And hands her all her banners, her activism banners back, posters or whatever. Or maybe they might be new ones because she balled them up. I don't know. It might be old ones, might be new ones. And Ashley feels more encouraged. She feels more looks more upbeat. She's smiling. So I feel like it kind of gets Ashley out of her funk. So then quick little saying, Carlson deletes the president of the BSU, the girl, his crush girl. He deletes her number out of his phone. So I feel like he probably ain't messing with her no more. Damn, that water just fell on me. But Carlton, I don't know. That scene he had with Lisa when he was sitting on his car talking about what had just happened with him fighting. It was kind of like, is Carlton and Lisa gonna get back together? I don't know. But I don't know. It might not be the end for him and that girl with the BSU. We'll see. So then get the last scene of the episode. So Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, they've agreed to let Will go to AAU. So Uncle Phil and Will, they pop up to this facility on Scout, and they like they basically Scout like, what do I owe this pleasure? Because last time I spoke to you, I had the impression that you didn't trust me. And Uncle Phil was like, you're not wrong about that, basically. It's like, you're not wrong about that, but I trust Will, and Will wants to play here, and he wants to play for you, so here we are. So he's like, here's the contract, and here's the fee, I guess the admission fee, whatever the fee is. So Doc opens up the contract, and he see like little red lines, like notes on the side or whatever, written in red pen. And he's like, I see you changed some stuff up, basically. I can't remember the exact words that they said or whatever, but he was like, I see you changed some stuff up. And Uncle Phil was just like, I did everything that was necessary for Will. And Scout was like, looking at Will, talking about, you told him to hustle me, basically. No, told him to do something. You told him to play with me or something like that. I can't remember what he said. And Will was like, nah, I just told my uncle to get the best deal for me because I know you would respect the hustle, said that to the Scout. Like, I know you respect the hustle. So Scout was like, we got a deal. So they shake hands, him and Uncle Phil, and Will was like, yes, I'm in AAU, good. He was like, all right, I see you, coach. He was like, I see you later, coach, saying to Scout. Scout like, all right, boy. So Will and Uncle Phil, they leave. The Doc's niece come knocking in the room. That looked like good news or something like that. And he was like, you did it. Like, he in. And she was like, I ain't really do nothing. And he was like, well, you got him to the way he needed to be, and now he signed or whatever. And he looking at the check all mischievously. And she looking at him in a way where she like, it's like she kind of know what she did, her involvement. I guess she was kind of supposed to like suck up to Will, or not suck up to Will, but like kind of like sweeten him up or something like that to make him want to sign with AAU under her uncle's doing. Like he probably told her to do this, and so now she looking at him like, okay, we got through with this plan. But she also looking like him like she looking at him like she kind of regret doing it. She probably feeling Will now and probably feeling like I shouldn't have played him like this. And now it's probably like when he find out, he probably gonna think she's shady, and I think she's shady for that. So yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. So yeah, like I said, I grade this episode an A-. It was good because like we got that shady moment at the end, so it's like, oh snap. We had that fight scene, Carlton. You beat his ass though, so it's like you beat his ass though. So yeah, I was with that. So I give it an A-, like I said in the beginning of this video. My predictions. I mean, I basically just said them throughout the episode. Like, I feel like Lisa and Carlton might get back together. I don't know, or it might not be done with him and the BSU girl. Well, the president BSU girl, because Lisa is also in the BSU, so I don't want to say just the BSU girl. The scout dude, he's shady, and I hope it come to light. Poor Will though, because he's gonna have to learn the hard way. And yeah, I think we're gonna get something with Jeffrey. Jeffrey is 007. We need more. I want to know what's going on with Jeffrey. And is Michael Ealy character gonna come back? Hillary and Jazz, I don't know if they're gonna last because Hillary feel like they too different. She's starting to second guess it. And yeah, give Ashley more scenes. Like I said, like I mean, I guess we had this the little classroom scenes with her with the whole Big Ashley situation, but give Ashley more scenes besides this little scenes with her and Will or like stuff like that. But yeah, those are my predictions for the upcoming episodes. But yeah, please like this video. Please share the video. Subscribe to my channel because I do review other shows. Yeah, and comment below what you would grade the episode and what you thought, your comments, your feelings. And yeah, thanks for watching it with me. Peace.